Anthony sent me a story from the Stevens Point Journal about Wisconsin Republicans. Hope you're sitting down for this. Proposing a bill to create a 7-day work week. Remember when Republicans passed Scott Walker, the governor's plan, to strip most public workers of nearly all of their union rights back in 2011? Remember when that was followed by Scott Walker's Wisconsin leading the way in jobs lost after his promise to create 250,000 new jobs, which of course he didn't do? Well, now Wisconsin manufacturing and retail workers could volunteer to work 7 days straight without a day off under a bill that 2 Republican lawmakers are circulating, of course, on behalf of the state's largest business group. The measure's authors are Senator Glenn Grothman and Mark Bourne of Beaver Dam. They say that the bill would bring Wisconsin in line with federal law and provide workers, this is so nice, Lewis, it would provide workers with a way to make extra money, and it would provide employers with a way to boost production. Now, Democrats and labor leaders are saying this would allow bosses to use the bill to force their employees to work longer and basically erase the weekend. Lewis, the idea that you need the bill for employees to volunteer to work longer or overtime is absurd. They can already do that. However, you could remove the legal requirement that employees are guaranteed at least 24 consecutive hours off every 7 days. You don't need the bill for employees to volunteer, but the bill could absolutely be used to force employees to basically not have a weekend, not even have 24 hours off in a row.
This seems like the logical follow-up to destroying unions. And after this, okay, this isn't going to pass. At least I hope it's not going to pass. But if it does, I believe then we will see some type of bill that forbids companies to pay overtime.
One of the responses from the sponsors was, it's ridiculous when people want to work extra hours, why the Democrats would stand in the way of that. I don't know why some people want some people to remain poor. This is such an absurd comment, Lewis. Why not just pass a law that every adult worker gets a full-time job at a living wage? If it's about legislating people not to be poor, there are plenty of ideas, including economist Pavlina Cherneva, who has a job guarantee proposal. We'll talk to her later today. The idea that it's the Democrats who want to keep people poor when they are advocating for a living wage, something Republicans wholeheartedly oppose, is absolutely absurd.
And this is how they keep their constituents in the dark. They just use careful language and make it seem like they're the good guys, and they're really just protecting big business at the expense of labor workers.
Let's go back to the late 1800s, Lewis, and allow child labor too. I mean, why do Democrats just insist on keeping 9-year-olds poor? 9-year-olds should be allowed to volunteer to work 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, with absolutely no minimum wage either, because they can't be kept down, Lewis. That is not fair.
We've talked about that. There are some Republicans in this country who want to eliminate minimum wage and who want to eliminate a minimum working age as well.
On today's bonus show, which is hosted and produced by producer Lewis from the Austin, Texas bureau of our program, we've been following the Mars One mission, which would be a one-way mission to Mars. We've got an interesting story of how that mission is already getting in the way of some marriages and much more. Please go to davidpakman.com/membership to become a supporter. The bonus show is only one of many member benefits that you get as a supporter of our program. We are also raising money to expand our show to 5 days a week. Please go to our website, davidpakman.com, click on the bright blue banner at the top of the page to check out our Indiegogo campaign and some of the awesome perks that we have. We're over 50 supporters for that campaign already, heading to 100. We'll take a break. We will talk about President Obama's New Yorker interview and what he said about legalization of marijuana. I will give you a movie recommendation. It's been a little while since I did that, and a lot more. Excellent show for you today on this very snowy Tuesday afternoon here in New York City.